Look where I am. Like, I'm in LA. This is my dream. So I just moved out here 3 months ago. And I could not be more blessed, and it's all because of God and my family. So thank you guys. It's just like recently I started getting back into that and getting back into God and praying to Him and just like standing by His side. You know, it's just when I started doing that, it was like literally 3 weeks ago. Like going back to church and getting back into it and reading Bible verses. You just see like life change for like the better. I started thinking I was better than everyone and just being so self-conceited and selfish, and it took a while for me to realize what I was doing, like hearing from other people if like I'd bully them like without me even knowing. It just became second nature to me for some reason, and it totally just took me over. But I remember one night I just like looked in the mirror and like asked myself, do you like who you're becoming?
Lauren Engel of Sidewalk. Talk today. I'm here with Devin Hayes.
What's up, yo? We out here. It's a beautiful day. All smiles.
Yeah, so true. So you're born in Springfield,
Illinois.
Yeah.
Middle of nowhere. Well, it's not really the middle of nowhere, but like there's just tons of crops, agriculture, and like the famous Abraham Lincoln sites, you know. So not too much to do there.
Are your parents from there as well?
My parents?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're back in Illinois still right now. I'm trying
but
to
they're
get them.
from there?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, so like all your family's in Illinois?
Yeah. So like I'm out here on my own. Like I hope to like one day like move my sister and like my parents and like my family out here. Like get my grandma out of retirement. Like she deserves to retire. Like I love my grandma so much and I just want to get out here. Anyways, besides the fact, I'm from Illinois.
What do your parents do?
My parents work for the state. My mom is a dentist office manager, and my dad works for the public health. He does like video creations and stuff. But like without them I wouldn't have like the talent I have, because my dad, he grew up
he was like a rock star, right?
Yeah, he's playing in a band, and like right now he's still like in a band himself. He just started one up with his old friends. It's called Deja Voodoo. Good one, Dad. But my mom grew up as a print model. She did like a lot of magazines and stuff. So thank you, Mom and Dad, for your looks and your and the talent. I appreciate it. Helps.
And then, did he teach you like guitar growing up and stuff?
Yeah, my dad actually was like, I mean, I looked up to my dad, and I was doing school plays and stuff, whatever I could do to feel like a rock star, like my dad was back in the day. And
yeah, didn't you do like High School Musical?
Yeah. You did your research, girl. Yeah,
Troy?
I was Troy Bolton in High School Musical. It was literally a dream of mine to be. But yeah, like doing school plays, I loved being in front of the crowds, and the adrenaline was great. And then my dad was like, I don't know, start playing the guitar, or pick up the guitar or whatever, because I'd watch him play and I'd watch him play the piano, and I'm like, let's do some lessons. So I got into guitar lessons for about 4 or 5 years, stopped after then, and kind of just self-taught myself as I like moved on. I was a percussionist in my school, so like I was the drummer and stuff, and I was in a marching band.
Oh, really?
Everything around music theater, whatever it was. And then like one day in like freshman year, I found this site called YouNow, you know, the live broadcasting site. Yeah, I got on there. I started like being myself and doing these like entertaining things, I guess. And next thing you know, my social media accounts are like growing like crazy. And I started hitting up all these companies for shows, and it was just a lot in such a short time, you know.
Yeah. What kind of music were your parents playing in the house when you were growing up?
Rock for sure. My dad took me to a lot of rock concerts, like 3 Days Grace, Shinedown, Lifehouse. That's a good one. Me and my dad's song's You and Me by Lifehouse. I love that song. So I grew up like with rock music. My dad gave me his old like iPod or whatever, and it had all the songs that he had, like Craig David, Lifehouse, all those bands, and I would listen to that every day, like on the way to school, and completely be in love with it. And that like actually grew me to start my first band in 6th grade.
Oh, like an indie, like a cover band, or did you write your own music?
It was funny because it wasn't like a real band, but like I just wanted to be in a band and say I was in a band, so I went to like a Kohl's and picked up a bunch of shirts that had like drums and like guitars on it, and gave it to my best friends and said, "We're a band." Like,
do you remember the name?
I don't remember the name. I wish I did. But we were totally like a posse, like back in elementary school and stuff. It was great. It was great stuff.
How else would you describe your personality back then?
Very crazy. I was a very weird kid. I was a very different kid. I got bullied a lot for it. I didn't have a lot of friends for it. But like one thing that I'm kind of proud of myself for doing is just sticking and staying true to myself. Because like that's the most important thing that you can do in your life, especially growing up at that age, because like that age you're vulnerable to anything, that your brain will learn stuff and you might become that way, or it's just you're just very vulnerable at that age, and it's really good to know to like stick to yourself and be yourself. And I was always a weird kid that styled his hair or wore skinny jeans because like all that stuff was new, you know, because I looked up to Justin Bieber or rock bands or whatever it was. Yeah. I had the Bieber hair, like, you know, did the hair flip or whatever. Those were the cringy days, but I'm still thankful that you know, I stayed true to who I was and to what I wanted to do in life, because like, I don't know, it taught me a lot. Because like now look where I am, like I'm in LA, this is my dream. So I just moved out here 3 months ago. And I could not be more blessed, and it's all because of God and my family. So thank you guys. Thank you.
Did you like school? Like, were you good at it? Did your parents push you?
I was. They pushed me really hard. Like I even had to put up my phone at like 8 o'clock every night, like in the room, turn it off and whatnot, like just so I can study and everything.
Oh wow.
I got a 3.7 GPA in high school. Wasn't the best tester, but I knew how to get by. Like, you find those like really smart best friends and they'll kind of like hit you up with some homework answers and stuff. So like I knew how to get by, but I was also a smart kid growing up.
Outside of the creative subjects, did you like any other subjects?
Yeah, I mean I loved basketball. I played every sport, like even golf and bowling. Like I did a league when I was small, or younger.
Yeah.
My dad was a really good bowler, so I wanted to be him. You can tell like my dad's like my number one like.
It's like your mentor,
who I look up
life
to.
coach.
Yeah. If there's anybody that's more inspirational, it's just like it's my dad.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like sports. I wasn't very good at them, just because I was like that kind of feminine kid. You know, like the theater, you know, band geek, whatever it was. It just looked weird when I stepped out in the field. Like, yeah, sports, just hanging out with friends. Oh, I started YouTube at age 11.
Yeah, you did skits, right?
Yeah, I did skits with my friends, or my friend Connor. Shout out to Connor. We did this thing called Twin Comedy. It was our own little YouTube show. Funny stuff. And my first ever YouTube video was a tech deck video. Remember tech decks?
No, what's that?
You know what a tech deck's like? The little toys that are skateboards that you play with your fingers?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then like I started doing business. Like I love like the entrepreneurship side to things and everything. At like age 13, I went to Walmart and I noticed that all the Fooies, remember the Fooey erasers with the ears? They're colorful and stuff? No? Okay, well, it was popping at my school.
They didn't have it in Hong Kong.
It was popping at my school, and everybody wanted them, and I saw they were on sale at Walmart, and I bought them all. I bought so many packages.
Oh, wow.
And I started selling them at school, like making profits and stuff. And then I remember having to go to the principal's office, like you name it, like Fooies, Tech Decks, Jolly Ranchers. Like I was the guy to go to for like the plug. I was the plug back in like 6th grade. So yeah, just a lot of different things that was kind of creative to me.
Yeah. At that point, did you always know from the onset that you wanted to get into music?
I didn't. I remember one point in my life where I was very stressed out about what I wanted to do with my life, and I think that was like senior year, right before the TV show Boy Band happened. I'm like, am I passionate enough about music, about like artistry to like push that, go to LA and invest my money and time into that, or do I just go to college, try out like film, photography, whatever it is. I just love the entertainment business in general, but I just like didn't know what I wanted to do. And then after the TV show happened, it completely changed my life, and restored, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Brain fart there. It completely restored confidence and hope in myself that I could do artistry and being a solo artist and stuff like that. It was just a lot of fun, and I just completely fell in love with the music and the ability to like to manifest everything about a song when it plays, and like now even produce music for other people right now. So that's kind of like a little side hustle.
Oh, wow.
So,
So how did you even randomly think of You Now? Like, was it just trending on that page?
You know, it's funny because you remember, do you know MadCon?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was going on, and I saw everybody like blowing up from Vine and making funny videos, and I was like, I've been doing that since I was like, 10, 11, you know, on YouTube. I was like, why not? So I hopped on Vine. I noticed like one of the boys, like Carter Reynolds, he actually lives at my place. We're homies. But Carter Reynolds, I saw him go live on that You Now thing, and I was like, what is this? And I was watching him, and he had like 3,000 people watching him, and
Wow.
and just like liking him up and following his pages, and I was like, all right, might as well do the same thing. So I got on right then and there. It was like 9 p.m. I had like 6 viewers, but they like all loved me and became my fans. And then every day after school, I'd go home and just broadcast and grow my audience.
Wow. So how many hours per day were you doing it? Like, it was very intensive. It's very intensive, I know.
It is. It was probably like reached to the point where I couldn't study or do homework.
Oh my gosh.
Like right after school, I'd come home and like broadcast for like 4 hours straight until like it's ready to go to bed or whatever. But
and you were also earning money from it, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
for sure.
Oh my god, you had so many hustles back
Exactly.
then. Like without even
it was
like
just
realizing that, like an actual job that you clock in.
No, I felt very grateful and blessed to be able to like make money at such a young age. For like being self-employed, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was a lot of fun, but like once you like have to start learning about taxes and stuff, that's not the fun part. But it was just all about building like my empire and building my brand and just getting this money so I could reinvest it into myself and into what I love doing, and that's creating music for others and to connect with them and make them feel some sort of way through it, you know.
Mhm. And then did the TV show scout you from you now, or?
The TV show scouted me from like YouTube and Twitter and stuff.
Oh.
This was last year, so it was actually like really recent.
Oh, so you continued to put effort into your YouTube even with the now.
Right. I don't know, a lot of my activity and stuff was going down. I wasn't really passionate about it too much anymore, just because it's such a populated industry and stuff. And I was about to give up, and then like next thing you know, I found an email from a scout saying like, yo, I'm an ABC scout and we're doing a TV show called Boy Band, you want to be on it, blah, 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 or like you want to go through auditions. So like I did a few auditions on Skype, and then like 2 or 3 weeks time, I'm signing these huge amounts of contracts to get on the show.
Oh my gosh.
And then I didn't even think I was gonna I didn't have confidence in myself. I didn't think I was gonna get on it. I didn't think I was gonna like go through the process, but I made it to episode 8 out of 10, top 9. So
that's so good.
That really like made me realize like I may have something and I should try it out, you know?
Yeah.
Because like, why not take chances right now? What do I have to lose? I'm 19 years old, and I don't know. You can see the way my mind works.
Yeah.
It's just always running with thoughts and feelings.
Yeah.
And stuff. So, and then there was oh gosh. Oh wow.
Oh my god.
Anyways, whoa.
That's so funny.
We're having fun out here on the Sidewalk talk show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good time.
Before the boy band thing, were you putting out original music? Like, did you?
Yeah, I was putting out like singles and stuff.
So you produced it, or did you have friends who made music with you?
I have a couple producers that help me. I write all my music. I do like my melodies and stuff. But just recently, I started producing my own music. I'm just like, I became really good at like mixing and editing my own vocals and stuff, and I love the process. And so I was like, I kind of thought to myself, I'm like, okay, well, I'm out here in LA. You know how expensive it is to live here. Like food, rent, whatever it is. I was like, I gotta find something that I can do as a job and like be happy and passionate about, you know? It's like, that's in the end, that's what you need is happiness. So I was like, why not produce music for other people? And it's just like something I love doing. So like, if I can like, you know, make a living off of that and help others in doing that, like that's a win-win. So yeah.
For being on the show, you didn't really have, well, I guess you already have all those years of like a stage performance
experience. Yeah, I did have a lot of
so
experience.
But was it difficult, or?
It was much different being on national television. When you're up there performing live in front of millions of people with these huge cameras in your face, it's very nerve-wracking. I was never a nervous type of person, but you could definitely say I was like shivering the whole time, each performance. Like in my solo audition, you can see me like licking my lips because my mouth was so dry.
Oh my gosh.
I had to sing to Rita Ora. Like it was a rush for sure. Very happy about the outcome.
Mm-hmm. Was it always in your mind that you could be like in a boy band or like solo?
Yeah.
Like you knew that you could potentially do this?
Yeah,
not the show, but like in general be one of the members of a band?
Yeah, for sure. Well, what's weird is like, you know, Why Don't We?
Yeah.
The band. A long time ago, like, I remember being hit up for that because they were all my friends. They still are my friends, but we were all really close back then, and we were on the same tour, like doing the same touring and stuff. And they had that idea of creating a band, and I just unfortunately didn't take that opportunity, and now look. But also, like, you know, Pretty Much.
Yeah.
I was at that audition in New York City with Simon
Oh.
Cowell and Sony Music Group and everything, and didn't get that. And the next thing you know, I'm on a boy band TV show. Like all these different types of boy bands I'm being put to the test to, but never really completing that outcome or that the conclusion. So I don't know what God is saying or what life is saying through that. Like maybe you do fit in a boy band, because I honestly love it. I love having buds next to you and feeling comfortable on stage and singing together and being creative through that. So who knows, maybe in the future another boy band thing will come up. You never know.
Yeah.
But for right now, I just love like creating on my own and doing this on my own. It's a lot of fun, but a lot of hard work being independent. So,
Yeah. And then so after the show, you were still at home, right? Or were you?
Yeah, I went back home.
Yeah.
Yep, I was out here for 8 weeks staying in Burbank in a hotel. That was literally my home for 3 months during the show.
How did you meet? After the show, did like managers start reaching out to you, or did you already have managers at that point?
Actually, I have never been managed in my life, or I've never had an agent. I just kind of do it all myself, and I mean that's a lot of stress and a lot of time. But like, I feel like I can be my own manager and push myself in the creative direction I want to go to. But it definitely opened up a lot of doors, a lot of opportunities, and because of that, like I'd actually recently signed with modeling agencies and stuff like that. So like it opened up a lot of doors, and it got me a lot of scouts and people and connections that I still work with to this day. So
Yeah, and then for like all your music videos, you found all the videographers yourself.
Yeah. My music videos, one of them, Nothing Else Matters, that was my best friend Sal. We used to tour together. And my recent one, Best Mistake, which is my new single, go check that out. Best
Yeah,
Mistake
I
by
have.
Devin Hayes.
Oh, yeah, thank you too.
Quick plug, but I went on tour with Jake Miller recently.
Yeah, I
and-
interviewed him also. He's awesome.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I love Jake. It's like one of the most humble people I've ever met.
Yeah.
But he had a videographer on his tour and that I seem to really click with and really love. So my boy Sterling, shout out to Sterling. He is an amazing director. He's an amazing cinematographer, whatever. Filmographer. My vocabulator is processing. That's a word I made up. Anyways, but yeah, no. Through it all, you find connections and you find friends that will help you out. You know, and that's really good to have when you're independent. So.
And how did you meet Carrington? I also interviewed her.
Yeah, Carrington. She's my ex-girlfriend of like 4 or 5 years.
Oh, so she's the one that the song's about.
No.
Oh, she's not?
No. No. I actually have a girlfriend right now. But anyways, yeah, like 4 or 5 years ago, I met her at my first show ever out here in San Diego, called Brave Fest, and we became like best friends and whatnot, and just linked back up when I moved out here and stuff.
Oh.
And she's a really good friend of mine and a really cool person. So
Yeah.
thanks, Carrington, for doing that.
Moving out to LA, I guess you already know a bunch of people here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Over the years, I mean, you just build those friends. And
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, for sure. I moved in with one of the people that did the show with me. His name's John Clausen, and he was on the show, and we became really good friends after the show. And I moved in with him. Now he's my roommate.
Oh.
For sure. Now it feels like we're in the forest.
Yeah. Survivor.
On a stranger.
For real.
Oh, sorry.
How do you say your music has changed since the early songs you made?
Oh my gosh, it's changed a lot. It's matured. It's just more into what I listen to in my direction. I mean, my vocals get better like as each day passes, and that's something I always want to work on. Like, I don't know, just like every song I put out is better than the last, and I like that kind of progress, you know. I hope one day I can put one out there and it's gonna be a hit. So
Yeah.
it's always about like trial and error, you know, see
Yeah.
what works, see what doesn't, and finding your niche. So I think I found mine. It's kind of like the inspirational, dreamy type of EDM pop vibe. Yeah. So I got a new song coming out, by the way, September 30th. If you want to go. And
what's the inspiration?
Inspiration is it's really just about this concept of if you're in a bad place in your life, you don't like what you're doing, you don't like what you're going through, you can find that one person to get you out of that. So it's like, if you want to go, like, you know, take my hand, we can fly away type stuff, you know. A little cheesy, but no, it's just like an inspirational type of song.
And then you've always had a religious upbringing, right, with your
Yes.
parents?
Yeah, actually, I think the only religious person in my family is my grandma.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that's why like I love her so much and everything, because she's shed that light on me. And it's just like recently I started getting back into that and getting back into God and praying to Him and just like standing by His side. You know, it's just when I started doing that, it was like literally 3 weeks ago, like going back to church and getting back into it and reading Bible verses. You just see like life change for like the better.
What was the turning point that you wanted to get back into it?
My girlfriend, actually.
Oh.
Yeah. So I met her like 4 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago or something. And like from the very first day I met her, I was just like completely falling in love with her, and she influenced me. Because I've always had like this thought in the back of my mind, ooh, we're going through the jungle again. I've always had this feeling and this faith in my heart that I should be more present with Him and whatnot. And just like all my friends, they kind of don't believe in Him and stuff like that. So it was a lot for me to kind of like say I do.
Do you have like pressures?
Yeah.
Pressures?
Yeah, I don't know what it was. It felt like pressure. I felt like I had to be like them. But Sydney just kind of opened that up in my heart, and I gave it a shot. I went to church with her like the next morning when I met her, and it was a crazy experience. I got goosebumps. I cried. It was just, my life changed at that moment. So I thank her and I thank God for that.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
How do you say you've grown as a person compared to when you were younger?
I went through a lot of stages, as we all do. Life's a roller coaster. I don't know, just growing up, I was a weird kid, right? You know, getting bullied, whatever it was. Stay true to myself. And then I remember one time in junior year, a lot of stuff was popping for me. Like I was going on tours. I was never at school. My fathers were going up. I was getting paid, and I started becoming like an asshole. And I started like, oh gosh. I started thinking I was better than everyone, and just being so self-conceited and selfish. And it took a while for me to realize what I was doing. Like hearing from other people if like I'd bully them like without me even knowing. It just became second nature to me for some reason, and it totally just took me over. But I remember one night I just like looked in the mirror and like asked myself, do you like who you're becoming? And obviously I didn't. So like from that moment, like I changed that. I admitted to like how selfish I was being, because I realized, because I was losing friends and opportunities and all these relationships through that, and I had to like check myself for a second. And I was really thankful that I did that for myself, I guess. And my parents brought that up and showed me like I was being disrespectful and everything. But I mean, I feel like we all go through some sort of phase where, I don't know, we'd be like a little selfish or whatnot. And I'm not saying it's an excuse, but it's really good to kind of take a second look at that and change yourself, you know, for the better. So I'm no longer that person. So I thank the people around me for keeping me grounded and humble. And like my best friend Luke, he got me out of this huge sadness after the show, after getting eliminated and stuff like that. And it takes those like sort of close people to help you grow and help you just be a better person.
Yeah.
My parents, you know, my best friends. It's whoever you surround yourself with. Like during that time in junior year, I was surrounding myself with my past bullies that now wanted to be friends with me, you know, and I let them because I didn't have any friends, and it was bad. So always like just positive influences only, you know. If you feel like a friend is pushing you in the wrong direction, definitely have to cut them off. It's really important in life. So
yeah, I love that.
I feel like this is therapy time or lecture time with Devin.
Other than that, what would you say have been your biggest challenges so far?
Getting over my failures, like you know, those boy bands, the TV show, whatever it is. Like failure to me back then was so scary and always put me down for like the longest time after. But I feel like your biggest accomplishment in life is when you're ready for failure and you're not scared of it. Because I always say, like, what do you learn off of success? Not too much. You only learn so much off of failure. So why be scared of it, you know? Because after failure, it's just what you do to overcome that and become a better person and do better next time. So
yeah, it's so true.
Yeah, for sure.
What does love mean to you?
Love, this is a great question. I talk about love all the time.
I feel like you would like this because I just had a feeling.
Hey, but no, literally, I say to everybody, the most important thing whatever it is, just loving one another and like, because like you think about it, we love so many different things, whether it's an item, a person. It literally just takes over our world, and it's the most important thing. And it's always good to have positive love, because you can have negative love too, you know, like you can have love for like a bad drug or whatever it is. It just, love completely takes us over and makes us feel the way we do. And it's just so important to love one another for the better, and stay positive, and because that's what we need more of in this world. Love and hope. Yeah. Amen.
Last question. What do you want to be remembered for?
Wow, that's a deep question. I don't know. I really just want to make a mark on this planet somehow, whether it's through my music, whether it's through my speech, whether it's through just little things like treating people nicely, because that can go a long way. Like me telling you your glasses are awesome. Like, you're gonna think your glasses are like even more awesome now. You're gonna wear them all the time. It's just like little things that can make people happy, and anyone can make their mark on this world just by doing that. You know, just for caring and loving on one another. But I mean, it would be great to go down as a legendary artist. You know? Yeah. Because I want to speak these things through my music and through the emotions and whatnot. So.
Yeah, I love this. Is so awesome.
You like this?
Yeah.
I know, I love this. I'm Devin Hayes. Thanks for watching Sidewalk Talks. Make sure you go follow my social media at Devin Hayes. Also, go check out my new song called Best Mistake. I'd really appreciate it. And keep spreading the love. And I don't know, have a good one.
Yeah.
Bye.